In this video of Lisbon, we'll discuss how to get to Castle St. George in Lisbon, the iconic number 28 tram in Lisbon. Is it worth it? A free alternative to the number 28 tram. Free lookout points in Lisbon. And cost-saving tips on touring Lisbon. So please stay tuned to my video. Please remember to post a like, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you can always get my latest travel videos.
Hello and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to Lisbon, Portugal. If you come to Lisbon either by airplane or even by cruise ship, you will wind up in this spot. This is Rocio Square. This is Rocio Square. The fountain is not on, but this is the main square in Lisbon. And this is close to the Rocio train station, which you can see over there. It's in the corner. It's a beautiful Manueline design building. And also these buildings here. Now I'm in Rocio Square, and you'll notice the tiles. This is very common to Lisbon. And if you have any type of visual challenges, you're going to be a little bit challenged walking over these tiles. They do have a wavy pattern to them, and in fact all the city has these flat tiles that are a little bit challenging if you have a slight visual impairment or even any kind of visual impairment. Just a heads up for you. The reason why it's designed this way is to resemble waves. And because all of the wealth of Portugal came from maritime exploration, and that's the reason why the tiles are made this way. From Rocio Square, we go down this area here. As we walk through this pedestrian-only area full of tourist shops, we get to our next area. Our second area is this area, which is Martin Moniz Square. And we just walked about 3 to 5 minutes from Rocio, and here we are. And up there you can see Castle St. George, which is one of the main tourist attractions here in Lisbon. My favorite restaurant in Lisbon is this place. It's Diallo, and it's an Indian restaurant. There are a lot of Indian restaurants here in Lisbon, but when they put their tables out for the patio service, look at the beautiful view you get, Castle St. George. Now it's 9:30 in the morning, and everyone who has wanted to come to Lisbon has heard about tram number 28. So I'm going to show you a little surprise. This is the stop for tram 28, and you can see the line. And again, this is at 9:30 in the morning. Those are all tourists. They're all from other countries. And that line goes all the way to the end over there by that yellow building. That's how long the line is to board a tram. Now, to give you an idea, there is absolutely no way that even half of those people are going to be getting on one tram. So likely the people at the end of the line are going to have to get on the third or possibly even the fourth tram. So I'm going to try to show you another way to explore Castle St. George and the upper hill in this video a little bit later on. By the way, that is what tram 28 looks like. There's hardly enough room for about 20 people on that tram seated, and about another 15 standing. And that's tram 28 pulling up. And again, look at that line. And that tram is going to go all the way to the front and load those people first. So I wasn't kidding. So that's where the tram 28 lets people off. And then the tram goes to the front of the line and picks up more people. There's the lineup for the number 28 tram, and if you look this way you'll see an escalator, and we're going to try to go up there. The escalator is free of charge and it's working, and I've never seen it not work in the many times I've been in Lisbon. The escalator provides an excellent view of the Moraria neighborhood, which is this neighborhood, and you go right by these little houses with their lovely balconies. The escalator brings you about 3/4 of the way up. So the escalator brings you about 3/4 of the way up the hill. And then you've got this street. And you've got Castle St. George right in front of you. There is a sign that says how you get there. You walk through these pretty little neighborhoods, and then you face this beautiful neighborhood, and there are stairs. Unfortunately, no escalator. You walk up the stairs. I'm in my mid-60s. If I can do this, you can too. At the top of the stairs, there's a narrow little street, and it goes to the left. Take the narrow street to the left. Along your walk, you'll see beautiful views of Lisbon. If you think you're getting lost, just look for the tram lines in the street and just follow the tram lines. That's the tram 28. Just keep following the tram lines, and as you follow the tram lines, you'll see the entry to Castle St. George. It's just up that way. Now, Castle St. George costs an admission fee to get in, and it's last time I checked, it was something around €7. So you can go there. It's got a nice view. But what I like to do is go to the free lookout points in Lisbon, like this one. Coming up, this free of charge lookout point gives you a view of the cruise port. You can see an MSC cruise down there, cruise ship, a Viking cruise ship down there, and there are several cruise ships in port today, but that is the cruise port of Lisbon. And this is the view, the 360 view of the Miradouro, the lookout point. And these lookout points are free of charge. Also, from the free lookout point, you can see the neighborhood, the famous neighborhood of Alfama. And there's Alfama here. And it's the neighborhood that is between the river and the top of the hill. From this Mirador, from this lookout point, you have a couple of different choices. One choice is you can keep following the tram lines in either direction, and it'll take you down to the main area of Lisbon. Or you can just retrace your steps and go back down the stairs instead of the escalator, which was going up. Now, if you choose the other alternative, which is to walk along the number 28 tram line path, it's going to be a very interesting and scenic walk for you through this area of Lisbon. And you won't get lost because you just keep on following the tram lines. And there's all sorts of unique shops and restaurants and cafes all along the way. I've decided to just keep following the tram line and show you this lovely part of the city. Now, I mentioned that I don't like to go to Castle St. George and pay the admission fee to get in there, and the main reason is that Castle St. George is not actually a historic site. It's not an ancient castle or anything. It was actually made in 1962 to draw tourists to Lisbon, so it has no authentic historical value. There was a Moorish fort at the top of the hill, so they tried to recreate it, not really that well. They made it into a Christian castle, but it's completely manufactured. So that's why I don't like paying admission to go to Castle St. George. I'm going to be following the tram lines like I suggested for you. And I'm just going to keep on going down and following these tram lines. And the good news is it's all downhill. Along the way, there are these beautiful cafes, restaurants. Now, these streets are very narrow, and don't be afraid. The instinct is you'll have is that the tram's going to come up and hit you from behind, and they won't, because the trams have bells on them, and they warn people and cars as they're coming down the hill. After just 6 minutes of walking down that hill, I'm back to where the number 28 tram boards, and you can still see the lineup of the people waiting to board this tram. I hope you like my travel tip on Lisbon. Now, there is a second major hill in Lisbon other than Castle St. George Hill, and that's Barrio Alto, which means the upper neighborhood. Now, to get to Barrio Alto, you have to take this, it's called an elevador. It's a cable car that takes you up this hill and it's called the Gloria elevator. And you can see the lineup just to get in to this elevator. So now as you look at the long line for the elevator Gloria, if you want to know where the lookout is, it's just up there. You can see the trees at the top. That's where the lookout point is. Now if you decide you don't want to take the elevator Gloria up to the top to Barrio Alto, unfortunately there is no escalator to get you up there, a free escalator like there is on the other hill, which is the Castle St. George Hill. So you have to decide whether or not you really want to go up to Barrio Alto. I think on one of my travel videos from Lisbon before, I did show you the view from the top of this hill.
These are snapshots from my prior video on Lisbon, which you can watch on my Lisbon playlist. A travel tip for you. A great alternative to the long line for the elevator Gloria is using your Bolt rideshare app. Bolt is cheaper than Uber in Lisbon. Just put in this address, Miradoro de São Pedro de Alcântara, as your destination address, and the Bolt will bring you to the location to the top of the hill. If there are two of you, it will be the same cost to use Bolt as 2 tickets for the elevator Gloria. If there are 3 or 4 of you in your party, your cost using Bolt will be cheaper than taking the elevator Gloria. You can use Bolt to get from Martin Mooney Square, near where you pick up the tram 28, up to Castle St. George also. Again, if there are more than 2 of you, it will be cheaper for you to use Bolt than buying tickets for the tram 28.
I hope you enjoyed my travel video from Lisbon today. Please stay tuned for more of my travel videos, and thank you for watching. Please subscribe, post a like, and hit the notification bell for future videos.